Hi, I'm Raina. Character, and then I use the mouse for pretty much all of the, well, here tearing down, and then also on much easier. You can get things in areas a lot better. You can turn things a lot better. So I would really suggest that if that's available to you. So I kept some of these bushes and stairs. I plan to maybe use them. Here's when I wanted to just drag my house down. But guess what? You can't do that. I tried changing around things. I looked up everything I could look up, and there is just, as far as I could see, no way to just group the whole house together at this point and pull it down. Maybe there is, and maybe you could leave it in the comments for future people. I won't need it because I did it the hard way. greenhouse set up over to the side, and I have it set up the way I want, and I'd have to redo all that too. So that's why I decided to do it this way. I really love the big tree, but I also didn't want that to be so tall. And so I think I'm still going to keep it somewhere near the house. So it's the focus. The house in it is the focus. And so this is the little area I used for like 2 days. And then I just tore it down. And in the back is my first preset house that I still was very confused about. So that to do that, and I'm stuck underground. Is the very best thing you've ever seen. But I am going to give you something that's me. something that I like, maybe that will inspire you too. So if you're interested to see how this build goes, you might want to subscribe. I thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day.